Dark mode users beware. It is bright. So I moved away from the comment and now I'm in my own file because it's a little bit easier to like mess around with everything. Actually, I'm gonna keep the space there because there's a space on everything else too. So what we determined, what we're trying to figure out is how the, so I have this written down. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. The bonus right here. And what I'm trying to figure out is how the next reusable calendar works when you're jumping century groups. And I'm trying to see if it's consistent, right? So this one applies so far, 6 years ahead. So for 1895, well, 1894, the century group doesn't change, right? So 1895, there we go. Um, I don't like how, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. 1896 plus 12 equals 1910, 1908. I immediately forgot. Scrolling down. It was 96 minus 8. It was 08. Yeah. It was 08. Okay. I'm just dumb. So now we're going to verify 1897. Oh, you know what I realized? You can't, if when I go and look up the calendars, you can't see that. Hmm. That's fine. I'm just going to have to live with that. That's just the reality of our world now. So 1897, just trust me when I say what I'm looking up is true. 1897. What is 1897 on the roster? Or 2297, whatever, same difference, right? Minus 7 or plus 21. Okay? So we can figure this one out by process of elimination. Um, so plus 21 is minus 7. So what we're looking for is, let's double check right here. Plus 21 is minus 7. So now we're looking for a pairing. And here we have plus 21. So the options are 27 and 10. So either plus 27 or plus 10. Plus 27 is minus 1. And plus 10 is minus 18. So either minus 1 or minus 18. Whichever one is closer. I think it's going to be minus 18, right? Oh, minus 18 doesn't exist in this one. Oh. Because the boundary is too high. Oh. Well, that's awkward. 16, 17, 18. It wouldn't have been the same anyways. So this one, the closest pair is minus 1, which would be, in this case, here, we'll just write it down further. Minus 2, 23, 14, minus 1, 23, 15, and then 0 is 23, 16. Okay? Well, my bad at typing. So 2315 might be the next reusable calendar for the year 2297. Let's do math real quick. 2315 minus 2297. I could probably figure it out. It's 18. Whoa, that's interesting. That's 18 years. Is that really the only option? Did I mess this up? Well, first let's verify, right? Let's look up 1897 and 1915. Let's look up those calendars. So 1897 is Friday, January 1st is a Friday, and 1915, January 1st is on a Friday, so that adds up. Now the question is, are there any other calendars between? So 18 does add up, okay? So we know that. That's weird. Okay, so there might need to be a clause here then. Okay, so 1897 plus 18 equals 1915, okay? So we know that this is true. Can we add 6? Does it have to be 1915? Can we add 6? Is the calendar for 1897 the same as the calendar for 1903? Let's verify. 1903. Does it land on a Friday? It does not. It lands on a Thursday. Wow. January 1st, that is. I just looked it up. You can't see it, but I looked it up. So, and does 12 work then? Does it have to be? Why does this work? What's weird is that that works. You know what I mean? The fact that that works is weird. So, if we add 12 from 1897, that would basically be this minus 6. So 1909, if I'm not mistaken. That does work. So you can add 12. Oh, weird. And 1909 isn't a leap year. So you can add, like you can do 12 and 1909, and that works. I don't know why it works, but it does. What is 1909 on this list here? Or 2309 in this case? Minus 7? Minus 7 is in pair. Oh, duh. They're both minus 7. I'm a dumbass. Oh my god. I'm an actual dumbass. No wonder 12 works. No wonder 12 works. Of course 12 works. Because it's the same distance to an alpha year. That's crazy. I'm so stupid. So, what I need to find out then, I'm a dumbass. Wow. So what I need to find out then is, do any of the other pairings have any faster connections? So because remember the thing jumps back 11 years, right? So remember 1900. Where is this list? Am I dumb? Where is it? Oh, here it is, here it is, here it is. Okay. 1900 is 16 years away from a leap year. Sorry, 16 years away from an alpha year. That being said, no, it's not. It's not 16 because the century group reset. So it's like 5 or whatever. 16, it would be 15, it would be 5, I think, right? 5? Four. It was 4. So there is that connection for minus 4, plus 24, and minus 10. Apparently share the same calendar. Plus 24 and minus 10. Let's take a look. What is minus 10 equal to? Plus 18. So plus 24 and plus 18 apparently are in the same group. But that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. What was it again? Am I dumb? What am I missing here? This is plus 24, or minus 4, but this isn't a leap year. Did I mess this up? Because minus 4 is a leap year. The fact that it says minus 4 means that it's a leap year. This breaks everything. Because if it was 4 years away from an alpha year, then it would be a leap year, but it's not a leap year. 2300. So do I need to make a special exemption for these? What is 2300 equivalent to? Minus 10? This is so... I don't know how I didn't see this coming. And the problem is that it has to... You can't put it either way. It can't be grouped up with minus 16 because that's divisible by 4 as well. And considering that it is a number divisible by 4 number of years away, this isn't minus 4. This right here is not minus 4. This is not... Yes, Thursday. Or yes, Monday, because it's not a leap year. So what in the hell do we do now? Because that breaks the cycle. Okay. We're going to have to make a special exemption for this. Because, like, what in the world do we do? You know what I mean? What do we do to fix that? Because this can't be minus 4. This is going to have to be, like... For this specific year, it's going to have to jump it's only for this specific year that the things are weird. You know what I mean? It's only for this year that the things are weird. The one above it and the one below it, totally normal. This specific year is broken, though. Here, let's continue resting our theory, though. Did I even prove the plus 6 theory? 1895 plus 6 is 1901, and that's the same calendar. 1896, 1894, for whatever reason, is the same. 1894, for whatever reason, has the same calendar as the year 1900. And this is only for this is only going from the previous century set to the next century set. 1895 plus 6. Why did I do minus? It equals to. It's equal to 1901. 1894 plus 6. Like 1900. Like, I'm starting to think, like, is it even really part of the century set? It might not be. Let's take a look at some of the other ones, right? let's look at 2100. This goes from minus 12, so it's either going to be minus 12 or minus 24, neither of which are accurate, because both would imply that this is a leap year and this is not a leap year. So 2100. Okay, we got 2100. 2100, what does that calendar look like? It is a no Friday. Is it no Friday? No Friday. You know what I might do? No, I'm not going to do it. I was going to say for every one of these years, put down the day of the week and stuff like that, but it would make it very cluttered. So this is a no Friday. Where are our no Fridays? Ten years away, 21 years away, 27 years away. You know what I should do? I should make this minus. I should just lean into the minus, honestly. The fact that some of these are plus and some of these are minus is really annoying. Or I could do. I'm getting carried away. That should be done off screen, but either way, no Friday, 1 year away, 21, 7 years away, or 12. So minus 12, minus 7, or, oh, that's, yes, Friday, sorry. Minus 1, minus 7, or minus 18. Minus 1, minus 7, minus 18. Minus 1, minus 7, minus 18. Okay, I'm just going to have that to help me keep track. Lost track of it. Oh, there it is. That's the same as 6 years previous. I'm on to something here. So 2094 should be the same calendar as 2094. No Friday, so 2094 should be a no Friday. And it is indeed. So here's what I'm learning. If it is specifically the year, I'm going to have to make a new term, and I'm going to call it the century group spacer. Or something like that. And the century group spacer is specifically any year, or do I already have a term for that? Where did I explain the century groups? Oh, here they are. The century group spacer. Spacer. The 1 year between century groups. So, like, for example, I'm going to have to change the definition of the century groups. Like, it'll have to be 1901 through 2099, or 2099, yeah. 2199. And the reason why is because it doesn't follow the rules of the century groups, and thus it should be in its own category. 2199, 2299, sorry. The 1 year between century groups that doesn't follow the pre-established rules, that doesn't not the established, not pre-established, the established rules of either century groups. I guess you can include it as part of the century set. It's part of the century set, but not part of the century groups. So the 1900 through 2299, that's fine. Or 2300. Oh, shoot. No, it would be 1901 through 23. It can be part of the century set, but not a. Yeah. So 2300. Yeah, that's fine. Because you can't have one that's part of both, right? The century group spacers, the years between century groups that don't follow the established rules of either century groups or alpha groups and have their groups or alpha year. Cycles and have their own exception rule. And have their own exceptions. These U's are also determined by, also defined as years that are divisible by 100, but not 400. We're going to call them the century group spacers. Deimos century group between 99 years before and 99 years after. Like 1900, 2000, no, not 2000, 2100, 2100. I guess, yeah, no, that's fine. 2200. I guess I should probably do for this specific century set. So like 2100, 2200, 2300. And we'll do for the current century set, that would be from 1901 to 2099. The century group spacers, the years between, get off my screen. Yes, I get it. The years between century groups that don't follow the established rules of either century groups or alpha year cycles and have their own exceptions. These years are also defined as years that are divisible by 100 but not 400. And for the current century set, those be 2100, 2200, and 2300. 2100, 2200, and 2300. Okay, so now that we've established what century group spacers are, we can now finally get to talking about all this other whack shit. Century group spacers. Century group spacers, day of the week for January 1st. So, yeah. So why does 1902 not work? It doesn't. I tested it, I think. Calendar, why did I say 1986? 1896. Calendar for 1896 is a Wednesday. Oh, because it's a leap year. 1896 is a leap year. Right. Right. And why does 1897 not work? Calendar for 1897 plus 6 would be 1903. And I verified that this doesn't work, right? Friday, January 1st is on a Friday, January 1st on a Thursday. Weird. I guess I could say if that year is a century group spacer, the most previous and next reusable calendars were 6 years ago and ahead. I don't know why that works. Oh, Jesus. But it does. So what happens here is you go -5, and then after that you go another -6. Wait, another -5. That makes sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The jump from one century group another. The jump from one century group to another is a very specific event within the alpha years. A year cycle. For specifically the century group spacer, the cycle will jump back jump back 5 years, which should make sense. Because 18, hold on. The calendar, have I verified that the calendar of 2094 is the same as the calendar for 2100? Have I verified that? I can't remember. I have verified that. Okay. So this is 2094 is a no Friday. Oops. And for 2100, it's also a no Friday. Is 2106 also a no Friday? No, not 2016, 2106. It's also a no Friday. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So, what's the opposite of -18 plus 10? So it'll go plus 10. Okay? Yeah, that's fine. You can kind of tell that it's what's going on here. And I verified that to be the case for the other ones too. Okay, where did I write all this stuff down? For specifically the century group spacer, the cycle will jump back 5 years. For the next year, here and on, back another 5 years. For example, 2099 uses the same calendar as any year 13 years away from an alpha year. Same with 2100 for 12 years away. But since 2100 is a century group spacer, but since 2100 is a century group spacer, the following year but the year, so this is different, so right, but the year 2100 will use a calendar, uses the same calendar as any year 15 years away from an alpha year. And then the following. And then the following year, 2101, uses the same calendar as any calendar Wait, what did I say 15? This is 18. 13 plus 5. I could do 13 plus 5 or 18. So it'll jump back 5 years. Technically, it jumps back 6 years because it would be 12, but then you add 6. Does it jump back 6? I guess it jumps back 6 years. 12 plus 6, or 18 years away. And this is 17 plus 6, or that math doesn't add up. No, it does add up, right? No? Oh god, I'm confusing myself. So the jump from here, let's take a look, right? 2100. So it goes from minus 13. This would be minus 12, but we're adding 6. No, that math. Interesting. So this would be minus 12, but we're adding 6. So this jumps to minus 18. And this would be minus 17, but we're adding 7. So this goes up to 23. So we're adding 7. Interesting. Okay. There is so much going on in this shit right here, bro. So another 7 years. The jump from one century group to another is a very specific event within the alpha year cycle. For specifically the century group spacer, the cycle will jump back 6 years. For the next year and on, the cycle for the next year, but for the next year, the cycle will jump back another 7 years. For example, 2099 uses the same calendar as any year 13 years away from an alpha year. But the year 2100 uses the same calendar as any year 12 plus 6, or 18 years away from an alpha year. And then the following year, 2101, uses the same calendar as any year 17 plus 7, or 23 years away from an alpha year. You see what I'm getting at? So let's see if that same logic applies to every century group. So for 2194, is that the same calendar as 2200? 2194 is a no Wednesday. Please be a no Wednesday to make my life easier. It is. Yes. No Wednesday. So, in this case, remember, this would be -8, but we're subtracting technically 6. So 8 minus 6 is 14. So we're going back up to 14, which is also the same as plus 14. And then this one, we're adding, this would be 13, but we're adding 7. Oh, Jesus, this is different. Fourteen, 13. Oh, Jesus Christ. So wait. Eight plus 6 is 14. 13. This would be 13, but we're adding 7, so it's 19. That math doesn't add up then. But the logic checks out because this is mine minus 9 and this is minus 19. This one is minus 13, this is minus 23. Am I dumb? This goes to 17. I am dumb. It's still 6 years. 17 plus 6 is 20. 17 plus 6. Oh my god. If I ever watch back this video, which I probably will, I'm going to be really cringing at myself that I am that oblivious and that dumb. 17 plus 6 is 17 plus 6 is 23. Also, where is this list, man? I can never find anything anymore because I moved everything around. God, I'm so dumb. Seventeen plus 6 is 23. I'm so stupid. Wow. That's dumb. I don't even, I like how I can come up with this entire super complicated, super in-depth list, and I can't even do 17 plus 23. What a joke. So, there we have it there. So it goes from minus 9, it jumps down, or jumps back 6 years to minus 14, and then jumps back another 6 years to minus 19. And it's going to do the same thing right here, if I can find it. This is going to jump back to minus 4 plus 6 is minus 10. Adds up. And then this one is going to jump back. This would be 9, but you add 6, or subtract 6, and it's minus 15. And minus 10 is the equivalent of plus 18. Oh, Jesus. Plus 18. Okay. Now everything is consistent. So, 2 more steps. I need to verify that this method right here works. I think it works. So, like, if you go from 1894 is a leap year. So that doesn't work. Because this doesn't work for leap years. 1894, wait a minute. If you're jumping 28 years, because the next leap year is 28 years, 1894, what is 1894? That's crazy. I never thought about that, but that's also a good point. 1894 is minus 10. Minus 10? Oh, 1894 isn't a leap year. That's why. 1892 is. 1892 is a leap year. My bad. Sorry. I see now. 1892 is a leap year. So this is minus 12 or plus 16, and because this is a a number, this right here, this number is divisible by 4, that means that it is a leap year. So minus 12, minus 12. So this is also a jump of 12 years. Because it's normally a jump of 28 years. But this is a jump of 12 years. That's interesting. If that year is a leap year, the most previous and next reusable calendars are 28 years ago and ahead. But this only applies if, when you're adding 28, it doesn't skip centuries. So for example, 1892 1892 has the same calendar as 23, well, that's true. 23/4, 1904 is what I was trying to say. 1892 and 1904 should have the same calendar. 1892. This is a yes Friday. 1904 should also be a yes Friday. And it is indeed. Look at that. So, here's what's interesting. What about the years that are between 28 and 12 years away? So for example, well, I guess if it was, it's always going to be plus 28 and that'll be the next century group. So that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at another leap year, for example, right here. So this is an alpha year, 2276, minus 24. Minus 24. So for this specific leap year, ooh, this is interesting. This spices things up a lot. Because you don't get to minus 24 in this cycle because it only jumps back up to minus 15. So you don't get minus 24 until way later. Oh, this is fascinating. So when is the next time you get minus 24? Let me take a look. So minus 24 or plus 4. Let's start at the start of the cycle. 1920. So 1920, that's a long time. So 1920 compared to 1880. So 1920 and if you're in the year 1880, hold on. 1880 plus 40 equals 1920. And 1880 and 1920 should have the same calendar. Let me double check that. 1880, that would be a yes Thursday. And 1920 is also a yes Thursday. Okay, just double checking. Wow. So this is a whole different ball game now. This changes a lot. But this does change the century group. So what I said was still consistent. So for 20, minus 20, the next time you get to minus 20 is going to be like way out there. So like for minus 12, you only have to wait 12 years. And that goes all the way up until, well, this is the most recent scenario, minus 12. It also worked for minus 8 too, where 1896 and 1908 have the same calendar. Let me double check that though. 1896. That would be a yes Wednesday. 1908 should be a yes Wednesday as well. And it is indeed. Okay. So minus 24. Let's see what the other ones are. Minus 20. So this would be 1884. Trying to remember that as we go scrolled up. 1884. 1924. That's 40 years. So what is the possible way we can determine when it will and when it won't work? Is there any possible way to determine it? Depends on how big the jump is. And is there any way you can easily determine that, right? So like if you jump from 1884, what is 1884 plus 28? 1884 plus 28. 1912. Is there any way you can determine that 1912 isn't compatible? Because it's not, and I know that it's not. But you wouldn't know that by looking at it, you know what I mean? I don't know if there's an easy way of doing that. Because 1912 is not on the list. No, it is on the list. It's right here. My bad. Ha. Minus 4. Because the first alpha year in a century group is different for every year. So here's what I'm going to probably write down, right? If your alpha year, if your leap year, oh, Jesus Christ, this is going to be nuts. I'm losing track of everything. I'm scrolling up and down trying to figure out where I am. If that year is 1 year after a leap year, the most previous reusable calendar was 11 years ago, and the next reusable calendar is 6 years ahead. If that year is 1 year before a leap year, the most previous reusable calendar is 6, and then the next reusable is 11. Okay. These rules only apply if the century group doesn't change after adding or subtracting. If it does, you need to add or subtract 6 years, or 12 years, or 40 years. You need to add or subtract for non-leap years 6 years if, I think it's 6 years if I don't think I ever looked up what 1898 is. What is 1898? 1898 is 2 years after a leap year, so it should be 12. What's weird, okay, so hold on, let's think this through, right? 1895, that's 1 year before a leap year. Oh, shoot. Because 1896 is a leap year. So this is 1 year before a leap year, then you only need to add 6. 6 years if one, oh yeah, I should save this. Thanks. Calendar system thing. That's what I'm going to call it. And not going to save to OneDrive. I'm going to save it to my personal folder. 6 years. This is super complicated. Wow. 6 years if 1 year after leap year. Otherwise, 12 years. 12 years. So 1906 or 1905 for non-leap year, 6 years if 1 year after leap year. Otherwise, 12 years. So 1905 is 1 year after a leap year. Well, oh, you know what? Because you add 6. Oh, crap. Okay, hold on. The year is 1 year after leap year. You need to add for non-leap years 6 years if 1 year after leap year, otherwise 12 years. So, for example, what did I say, 1998? 1898. So what is 1898? If I do 1898 plus 12 years, first let's see what the 1898 calendar looks like. 1898, that is a no Saturday. 12 years should be 1910. So Saturday should be a no, or 1910 should be a no Saturday, and it is. So cool. Blessings that just worked. And then 1899 plus 12 equals Let's see if this works, because I genuinely don't know. Calendar 1899. This is an hour-long recording. Sunday, no. 1911. Also a Sunday, no. So cool. You can literally just add 12. Fantastic. Awesome. So 1895 is 1 year after a leap year. So you add 6. Oh, Jesus God. Okay. This is like a whole thing, man. I did not expect it to be that crazy. You need to add, for non-leap years, 6 years if 1 year after a leap year, otherwise 12 years. Subtract. If you're subtracting, the math is different. So for example, if you're going 1911, we can do the same math. It's just in reverse, right? 1911, 1911 is 1 year before a leap year. And where is that sentence here? Before a leap year, 6 years ago, and the next reasonable calendar is 11 years ahead. That's not correct for this specific scenario. Because 1911, wait a minute. Oh, but that doesn't change the century grouping. So that might actually be true. But if that's the case, then 1911 minus 6 should work. Oh my God. Hold on. 1911 minus 6 is 1905. Is 1905 a yes? Oh God, it's so hard to read. A yes Sunday? Is 1905 a yes Sunday? Or no Sunday, sorry. It is? Well, we just found the jackpot. Huh. The next reusable calendar is actually 1905. Well, look at that. 1898. For non-leap years. This one is a leap year, so this doesn't belong here. $1897 plus 12. 1897 is 1 year after a leap year. If it's 1 year after a leap year, then 1909, 1 year after. Oh, because that's 11 years. And 1909, that breaks it. Right. Because if it was 11 years previously, then it would be past the century grouping. Right. Or the century, not century grouping, the century group. So, and in fact, that would be the century set too. So the most previous, so for the year 1897, we're going to assume it's plus 12. Everyone cool with that? Is 1909, because like, what if it was plus 6 or plus 5? If it was plus 5, then it would be 1902. Have I verified these differences? Here's the thing, right? 12, I know 12 works. This one, I'm sure that if it's 2 years, it has to be 12 because, duh. What's breaking me apart is this one here. This one right here, I'm not convinced that that's the next reusable calendar. But I know it's not 6, because the calendar for 1897 is not the same for the calendar for 1903. I checked. Let me double check though. Always good to double check. 1897, January 1st on a Friday, and 1903, January 1st on a Thursday. Yeah. So, and I know that 1904 doesn't work, because it would push it a year, but that's a leap year, so that doesn't count. Interesting. So, do I know that 1902 doesn't work? Yeah, well, 1902 obviously can't work because that would just be going back a year. That would just be January 1st on a Wednesday, not on a Friday. Yeah. So the reason why it doesn't work, if I'm remembering this correctly, the reason why it doesn't work is because 6 years. Because if you subtract 6, if you subtract 6 from 1902 or 1903, I don't know. It's breaking me. I don't know why this one doesn't work. So this one, okay. So 1 year after a leap year. Okay. 1896 is a leap year. 1900 isn't a leap year. 6 years after a leap year, or 1 year after a leap year. This one is 1 year before a leap year. This is 1 year after. It's 12. And that's fine. I can accept that reality. 1898. I mean, it makes sense for the same reason that this previous one made sense, because this one was also plus 12. So this would be, for non-leap years, you would add, for non-years, it would be add 6 or subtract 12. (1901) is 1 year after, oh, it's not 1 year after a leap year. Well, it would have been 1 year after a leap year. Okay. If 1 year after a leap year, or 3 years before a leap year. If that year is 2 years before or after a leap year, if that year is a century group spacer, if that year is a leap year. Okay. So 1901, add or plus 12 or subtract 6 if 1 year before a leap year, and otherwise add or subtract 12 years. So this one would be 1895 blah 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 equals 1901 So 1901 is 1 year or 3 years before a leap year, or 1 year after a leap year. After a leap year, I should probably say 3 years before, but that doesn't always apply either. For non-leap years, so 1897 equals plus 12, 1898 plus 12. This is 1 year before a leap year. Weird. Or before a leap year. This is 1 year before a leap year. So this is, I gotta replace this word with before and replace this word with after. 1895 plus 6 equals 1901. This is 1 year before a leap year. So I'm adding 6. Adding. Subtracting. So we're going to do 1900, 1901 minus, and 1901 is 1 year after a leap year, or 3 years before a leap year. So, or 1 year, yeah. So minus 6, yeah, equals 1895. 1902 minus 6 equals, no, it's not minus 6, it's minus 12, my bad. Equals 1890. And 1902 and 1890 do share the same calendar year. I think I tested that. (1903) is 1 year before a leap year. So we're subtracting 12. Is that correct? (1912) minus, it's not 1912, 1903. 1891. So let's verify that. Is the 1891 calendar the same as the 1903 calendar? That would be Thursday, no. Right? Thursday, no? Yes, Thursday, no. And this is Thursday, no. Yeah, so that's correct. 1903. 1904 is a leap year, so we're going to put that in its own category. 1905 minus, do I have 1905 up here somewhere? I do, and it's subtract 6 equals 1899. Now for leap years. Oh boy. For leap years, first you have to determine first you have to transition to. The reason why is because every century has a different alpha year. For leap years, first you have to look at exactly which century group you're about to transition to. The reason why is because every century has a different first alpha year of the century. And well, no, it's implied. For the demos, for transitioning from a secondary Phobos century group to a Deimos century group. This is a long video, a very long one. For transitioning from a secondary Phobos century group to a Deimos, what if I wasn't recording this whole time? That would be whack. To a Deimos century group, what's the difference? So the highest is minus 15, right? If your year is XX89, oops, wait, what? Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, let's save again. I like how this is considered the bonus, but it's taking up so much space. 2315. No, not 2315, sorry. That would be minus 5. So minus 5 would be 2311. If your year is between XX89 and XX99, for transitioning in reverse from a Democentric group to a secondary Phobos group, '92 plus 12 is 1904, and I tested that. And then we can just copy and paste this. 1896 plus 12 is 1908. In reverse from a democentric group to a secondary Phobos group. If your year is between x01 and xx11, simply subtract 12. Okay? For transitioning from a democentric group to a primary Phobos group, I like how this was supposed to be a tiny little tangent and it turned into this whole thing. Okay. And then let's take a look. So that would be from 2099. So this, let's take a look here. We have minus 23. So that goes all the way to 89 again. Oh, interesting. It goes down to 89 again. Huh. Interesting. And then this goes all the way down to minus 13, which is 11. Well, ain't that handy dandy? It applies to every hold on, let's double check. Let's look at the primary Phobos-centric group. Goes from minus 5, or sorry, minus 15, which is 89. Oh my god. That makes life a lot easier. That's super convenient. I forgot where everything is. I think I scrolled up too high. Yeah, I did. For leap years, first you have to look at have to look at the current distance to the next century. Look at the current distance to the next century. For transitioning from a if your year is between XX89, 11 years before new century, and XX99, 1 year before the new century, simply add 12. If your year is between XX01, 1 year after the new century, and XX11, 11 years after the new century, simply subtract 12. $23.11 to $22.99. Yeah. Oh, no. It wouldn't be that. It would be 2304 minus 12 equals 22.99, or 2108 minus 12 equals 2096. How about transitioning from 2100 to 2200? Okay, so that was the simple part. If your year is between, what is the alpha year for any given century? Oh, I guess it depends. Ooh, right. I guess this would be 2014 or yeah, 2014, right? Or 2004. I'm bad at math. Um, wait, but that's only 30. Huh? Oh, I'm a dumbass. It's because yeah, I'm a dumbass. But wait a minute. Well, I guess it's the same. This is 28, right? This is 4 plus 4. Yeah, that's 28. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Um, that was useless. This is all alpha years, so that doesn't help any shit. 24 plus 4, 2088. I guess yeah. So the only difference is that like the this one, the only one that you can do is 2088, right? That's the one where you have to add 40 because all the rest of them are after 2089. So for the Deimos year, for a Deimos year for the year X88, no, use my brain, use my brain, use my brain. There's more than that. There's more than that. What's 28 years before 2100? All the way up to 2072, which 2072 is an alpha year, isn't it? It's not? No, that's 2172. So all the way up until 2072, because minus 12, right? Where does it get down to? So like if you had like a minus 17, for example, let's say you had a minus 17. Okay, a minus 20. Is minus 20 in the bracket? Yeah. Well, I guess you could go to this minus 20 right here. Yeah. If you're in 2064, you could just add 28. Yeah, okay. So 1972 is that's the latest you can go, right? So 1972 plus 28, that's 12, minus 12. And you didn't get to minus 12 yet, because it cut off. So it does depend on the century group for certain things. For 2072, you would have to wait 40 years. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. So for the Deimos century group, if your year is between XX72 and XX89, you now have to look at I don't know if that makes it. I'm not convinced that that makes a difference. I'm almost 2 hours into my recording. If your year is between XX72 and XX89, you now have to look at the century group. So Deimos century group. Let's say you're going from, or maybe if it's between, maybe you just add 40 every single time, right? Like let's do some logic here real quick. 2072 minus 12. You don't get to minus 12 in this specific century group because it breaks off. And then I don't think it depends on the century group. Never mind, I lied. And then whenever you do get to minus 12 again, that's going to be 40 years in the future. 2072. So minus 8, 2076. 40 years in the future should be 2106. No, 2116, sorry, 2116. 4 years, that 2120, that should be 2080. $2084, that might actually be 2124, and that's 40 years, yeah. Let's see, does that change depending on the century group? Because it might not. It might not make a difference. As long as it's between 1972 and the other thing, right? So 2172 minus 8. $2212. That's a huge difference. Is it not? Maybe it's not. Let's take a look. 21.7, let's say, because if it's like, because if it's, let's be real, like if it's minus 19 or lower, then it's 12. Not that hard. But if it's minus 20, you don't ever get to minus 20, do you? Yeah, you don't get back, it doesn't go up to minus 20. So you have to wait until it hits minus 20 a second time, which is a really long time from then. So for 2188 at minus 20, well, let's start off at 2172 again, right? Okay, so 2172 is minus 8. We don't get to minus 8. Ooh, baby. Minus 9 we do, though. Minus 1 we do get to that, so that's fine. But 2172 specifically, minus 8. We don't get to that. 2172 minus 2212. 2172 minus 2212 is also 40 years. Maybe it's 40 years every time. maybe it's just 40 years every time. I think it might be. Let's triple check. So this one breaks at 4, for example. You wouldn't get to 4. So 4, 21, 23, 12, 22, 72. Right? And what is that? 23, 12 minus 22, 72. Is that 40? It's 40. Okay, it's just 40 every time. Never mind. Never mind. Simple. It doesn't. Okay, well, that makes my life easier. It means it doesn't depend on this integer group. And XX89, 11 years before the next century. Then simply add 40. So example of that would be 2076. Wait a minute. (2076 to 2116). Yeah. I don't know why the math works out the way it does, but it does. Here's an example. 1880 plus 40 equals that. 2176 plus 40 equals 2216. And then we can throw in a 2280 plus 40 equals 2320. Presumably that should work, right? Oh, we already did an 80. Let's do an 84. Right? Cool. Simply add 80. And then if your year is between what is 28 plus, what's 72 plus 40? You idiot, 72 plus 40, 12. So that would be, that math doesn't make any sense. Oh, yeah, you know why? It's because it would be 88. 88 plus 40 It's 28. Yeah, right. Okay. So I guess 29. If your year is between, this would be XX29, XX29, or 29 years after the next century, and 11 years after the next century. Simply subtract 40. So an example of that would be, what did I do last time for subtraction? Just random ass numbers? So 20, 2320, or 2220 minus 40 equals 2180. Haven't done that yet. 1912. Have I done 1912? Maybe I haven't. I don't know. 1912 minus 40. The principle works. I hope. Yeah, it does. 1912 minus 40 is 1872? I think so. Oh man, now I feel like a dumbass. Yeah. 80, no. 72 plus 40 should be 112. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, cool. And we'll just throw in another 4 in there. Or 16. Nah, we'll do a 4. 2304 minus 40 equals, sorry, not 2304. Oh, you're right, because it's between, oh, yeah. It could be a 20, it could be a 28, for all I know. 2328. 2328 minus 40 equals, what is 2328 minus 40? 2288. Yeah. I knew that. I didn't have to look that up. Wow. What a bonus. This is the bonus, by the way. Oof. All right, that's it. We're fully updated. We did everything we did. I guess I could turn this into its negative components, which I probably will do. So this would be all plus, so plus 6, plus 23, plus, and I don't care about this, honestly. This is dumb. And kind of useless. It just makes things a lot more confusing. So plus this, plus that, plus 18, plus 13, plus 3, plus 14, plus 25, plus 6, plus 15, plus 9, plus 10, plus 21, plus 27. Oh, I'm holding caps lock, that's why it's not doing anything. You fool, me being the fool. Remember what I was supposed to work on editing my videos? Boy, did that get distracted. Am I just gonna upload this whole video unedited? That would be a absolute monster of a video, 2 hours long. But just goes to show the dedication to the craft. I wasn't messing around when I made this. I put a lot of time and effort and testing into making this thing correct. Because if it wasn't correct, then what's the point? Okay, so +6 corresponds to -22, I imagine. Yeah, -22. +6 corresponds to -22. +17 corresponds to -11. +23 corresponds to -5. +1 corresponds to -27. +7 corresponds to -21. +18 corresponds to -10. +2 corresponds to -26. +13 corresponds to -15. +19 corresponds to -9. I feel like I should just remember some of these, but yeah, whatever. +3 corresponds to -25. +14 corresponds to -14. I remember that one. +25 corresponds to -3. Ain't that funny? Ain't that funny? Interesting. I guess it's because it's in the middle too. Because this is 12 away and this is 12 away. So, makes sense. +9 corresponds to -19. +315 corresponds to -13. +26 corresponds to -4. No, -2. Good thing I double checked. -10 corresponds to -18, I believe. Yeah. +21 corresponds to -7. I think. Yeah, -7. +21 corresponds to -1. +5 corresponds to -23. Yeah, 23. +11 corresponds to -17, I believe. Yes. +22 corresponds to -8. 6? 6. 6, right? It's 6, okay. +12 corresponds to I don't know. Math is hard. 16? +24 corresponds to -4. +8 corresponds to -20. +20 corresponds to -8. +4 corresponds to -24. +16 corresponds to -12. 16 and 12, they correspond, right? Yeah, cool. And 0 is 0. Because that is the alpha year. The alpha year is defined by being 0 years away from an alpha year. So -22, -11, -5, -27, -21, -10. So what I could probably do is go through every calendar and specify what group it's a part of. And I might do that. It's a lot of work, though. Going through every single year for 400 years and then looking it up to see what it corresponds to. That's crazy. What I could do, which would be a lot less egregious, is Control F. Whatever. I'm just going to leave it as it is. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this. This was a gigantic project, and I'm super proud about how far it's come. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys find it useful, this whole thing. Probably not. But you know what? I do things because they're fun, not because people care. Take care. Peace. Bye.